Welcome to Chapter 6 of Intermediate. This chapter will be broken into 3 parts. The first part is about locators and linking. The second part is about cameras and VR spaces. And the third part is about the timeline and animation. You will see some timeline and animation as we go through this first part, but basically I'll cover a little bit more extensively in the end. Okay, so what I have here is some little pieces I created in Gravity Sketch and imported them into Tvori, and then added locators to each part and linked them in a sort of like a parent-child relationship. This one here I have pre-rigged. What I'll do is I'll just break this back down to where it was kind of like default. Just unfreeze these and break these links. So what we have now is we have some objects that are not linked to anything. They're just basically blank objects and some locators. What we do first is we grab each object and we link it to a locator. So like this, link to, locator, link to, locator. Now that means that each object is linked to a locator. I'll just unlock these quickly. It's locked as well. Unlocked. So if we look at that, that's linked to that, and same with that. And the next part is we grab each locator and we link them to the next locator, the chain. And that means that this locator here is its parent, top locator, same with this one, next down, and the foot like this. And a really, really great thing to do with this technique is to lock each of the surfaces so you don't inadvertently select the model, but you're only selecting the locator. The next tip for here is, or next part of this is to lock each move for the locator here and here. You can unlock or lock the top one. If the character was walking, it would walk in a swaying, like a swaying walking motion. It would walk in an arc line as a character walks and steps. His leg steps lower, and then as in animation and steps like that. But for this quick example, I'll just show you how these work this way. Great, so if you have a look at the leg now, we can move it just by grabbing the locator and grabbing the locator here, and also we can move the foot as well. Okay, to key this, first of all we go to keyframe and we touch each of the locators to set an initial key, and then we come across a couple of frames here. Let's bring this down to here, and if we were making like a step, that's where we would probably unlock this. We can use a step. No, well, I suppose we'll lock this. We'll just do a raise. So a raise like this. And then we'll just do something like that. So you can see that it is like that. So I'm not really happy with that. So let's just do a kick, like kicking a ball, and we'll just make we'll just get a ball from here. Stop this quickly. And put a ball here. Just shade that up quickly. Make it a into position, right? And if we were to go back to keying this, we can look at our first keyframe. It's in its initial position. We have a key there, and a key down there. And as you would kick a ball, you'd bring your leg back. So next set is here, so a couple of frames back. Bring it back, toe back like that. So bring the foot forward. And follow through. So follow through. We can basically select all of these here and add a hold at the back end. So if we look at the back there, that would be a hold. So we'll just move these forward and then duplicate these. So we'll make that a hold, and then he holds his foot, bang, and then sort of brings it forward, and we want to make that quite quick, that forward, and then maybe slow at the end. So we play that back. Still pretty slow. Bring these up nice and tight. Check the speed now. Still slow, so bring it up tighter. Much tighter. Okay. That last kick here should be literally a couple of frames. In the end, bring that nice and tight too. So cool. So then next part would be to key the ball. So as the ball is there, it gets hit there. So I'll just leave it in its initial position. Bring it out there. Couple frames that way. Okay. We probably grab this first frame here and make it a linear. Oh, that's not a linear. This key here should be linear. Going into just make this linear curve, sorry. this key here should be exactly the same. Bring this key back. Too early. Still too early. I mean, you can then go through and tune the bounce, make this a little bit longer, go to the last frame, and then some, and do a bounce. Just pull that out. Distance should be shorter here, so we'll just bring the distance down. Change the speed. Some of the speeding here. This here. It's a little bit. Good timing. Have a look at that, and then just show you a little trick with the camera. As if we just grab that out, close it down. One trick we can do is we can actually put the camera up here, and we can link the camera to the panel, and then we can we can link the panel to the viewport, as you might say, and that makes it easier to sort of dial in your settings for the camera, change your field of view, maybe find a good camera angle. The scene, it's sort of moving the scene like around the camera now, instead of moving the camera around the scene. It can help with just keeping everything in a position based on your position. So like that. Just play that back. The field of view a bit bigger. Okay. Good. It's a good technique to set up for final shots, but we won't do that just now because we kind of want to keep that over there and let the camera be where it needs to be. So to tweak this foot, if we just tweak the foot a little bit more, we'll go back in here, grab these keys. We can have a look at the extent. It goes back. It goes back here. So that key there, you can just pull that back a little bit further. Get him really winding up. And delete that. Okay. And then copy that key again. It's still not exact. I mean, this ball's moving. I don't know why I'm moving it like that. It's later. Later. There are some intersections there which aren't ideal. Like there is a little bit there, like that shot there. So you can almost do like frame to frame animation. Cool. So that's really the basics of that. Like not the basics, but that's the basic idea. You can really create anything you want really in Tvori with using locators and linking. This technique is good. Like that's fine for animated characters and little things like that. Like And those little extents that I just put in there are a way of working out your offsets. So there's some nice little movements in there. There. I'll just kind of put it like that, right? That the hand is now waving. It's not a hard thing to get some great animation out of that. Like that's working really well. It's just going to take more time for you to spend on getting that looking right. So the ball kicking like that, and then you can fix that arm moving up. I think we put it in between key and here. Like this. So it's bringing. Let's try something like this. So it's really put his hand up. Okay, there. If I select this, that's offset from that, and that's offset from that. That can go there, go there. So we get these like nice movements of speed, even speed. So you'll see the. Okay, cool. So that's really it for the locator and linking thing. These this linking technique can be used for almost anything. So sure, this is a couple of limbs linked to some locators, but basically these can be used for anything. And I've said before, I use them for ships. If I pull a ship in, I put a locator in the center, lock the surface. That means I'm just animating the locator. If things are connected to that, I can connect the turbines or the jets to locators and then link the locators to the body of the ship and then animate the locator, one locator. Cool. I'll show you one more quick tip, and that is if we have a camera, when a camera is recording and we have a locator, what we can do is we can use the locator here as almost like a track. So we link the camera to the locator and we turn on our gizmos, and that means we can move the camera in and out or up and down, but we can also move the camera off the locator itself. So if you were to take an animation of this, let's do real time. If we were to track the shot in, dolly the shot in on the locator, and then move the camera around an object, then what we have there is an independent animation of itself. So we have a tracked shot and then a move, and that's really helpful for so many like technical little camera moves. Cool. So awesome.